Hello, my beautiful yellowbone, redbone, butter pecan, caramel, butterscotch, toffee, mocha, chocolate, cocoa, exoticals. Welcome to the Pretty Girl Club. Welcome to the Exoticals United community. If you are new here, welcome. Here in the Exoticals United community, we support men and women from the following people groups: multiracials, biracials, multi-generationally mixed, and light-skinned golden people. Hey Exoticals, this is another unscripted video, so it is going to be a little bit rambly, but welcome to episode 3. I think this is episode 3 of the Dark Femininity series. So today I'm going to talk about how to defeat your enemies. I've noticed that when you're a pretty girl, one common thing that happens is a lot of people want to make you their bitch. Men want to make you their bitch, other women want to punk you, and they want to bully you like a bitch. Sorry, I'm cursing a lot today, but basic Beckies at work will try to report you to HR and make you the workplace bitch. People will try to push all of their work tasks onto you. And people do this because when they see you, they know that you have pretty privilege. People are not blind. So they will do everything in their power to take you down a notch. And when you have people coming from you at every angle, like at work, in your friendship circle, or even in your family, it can be overwhelming and lead to low self-esteem. So I'm going to talk about how I have used dark femininity to defeat my enemies and the strategies that I'm currently using right now to keep myself afloat. So first, let's talk about the basics of dark femininity. What is it? Well, I think that dark femininity is about self-awareness. You have to understand who you are as a person. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What are your anxiety or depression triggers? What environment works best for you? What type of environment do you thrive in? Like for me, I can't remain in a toxic environment very long. Toxic environments are a depression trigger for me. So ask yourself, what triggers you? For example, with me, let's say I live with roommates and they're toxic, like they gossip about me, they're always talking crap about me. Or let's say I work with people who are rude and they're constantly putting me down. That's going to chip away at my self esteem over time. So it's important to know what kind of environment you work best in and what environment you don't want to be in so that you can avoid that. But let's say I'm at a job and for whatever reason I can't leave, or I live with roommates and I'm not able to move out at the time. What I've learned to do is tap into my healthy coping mechanisms. Not every coping mechanism is bad. Like for me, my healthy coping mechanisms are things like looking pretty. That's one of them. There's nothing more empowering than knowing that I always have my pretty privilege I can fall back on. I don't care if I sound conceited. I don't care if I sound vain. I'm just being 100% transparent with you guys. This is the body that God gave me. This is how I was born. So yes, I'm going to cherish how I look. I'm going to embrace how I look, and I will enjoy my youth and my beauty while I have it. I will enjoy every minute of it. That has always been a healthy coping mechanism for me. So instead of lashing out on others or fighting with people and throwing drinks on people, no, I just learn how to internalize positive emotions about myself, and that is my way of fighting back. It's by doing things like self-care. It's by looking my best. When I take a little bit of time to put on some eyeshadow or to put my hair in a cute ponytail, I'm reminding myself that I am valuable. I'm worth grooming. And I love the satisfaction I get when people have tried to bring me down and I still show up to work the next day in my little cute outfit with my heels on. It's like a subconscious way of reminding myself that people's opinions don't define my worth. I get to define my worth. I get to celebrate myself. Confidence is the best revenge, and there's nothing better than flipping your hair and walking past someone and you know they're staring at you with jealousy. You know they're giving you your exotical tax. And that's even better than confronting them or arguing back and forth, at least for me. Just living my best life, that's enough for me. But let me get on to my next form of dark femininity that has helped me defeat my enemies, and that is assertiveness. So for those of you that are into personality types, I am an ENTJ. So there are times when I've had to communicate my needs in the workplace and set boundaries. This has helped me to recognize my own worth, and it has helped me to build confidence because I'm not just letting people walk all over me. So for example, let's say I'm dealing with a basic Betty at my job. Actually, I am dealing with a basic Betty at my job right now. So this lady at my job, she reported me to HR. And guess what? I typed up an entire rebuttal and I was like, you can put this in my HR personnel file as a response. I gave 0 F's about what my supervisor thought about me at that point because I'm not going to let another woman crush my self esteem. I'm not going to beg to stay at a job that doesn't give 2 F's about me anyway. Assertiveness is something that every exotical should have in her pretty girl toolbox because people will try to bully you. One thing that a lot of pretty girls struggle with is infantilization. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but people tend to associate beauty with youth, and people associate youth with stupidity. So it's very common for pretty women to also be treated like they're stupid. I've noticed that this has happened to me sometimes in the workplace, but I don't like tolerating this type of bullshit because I'm going to fight for what's important for me and I'm going to stand up for myself. So there are times when it's appropriate to leave a job or to leave a certain situation, but then there are other times where no, you need to stay and fight. Like at my job, when the lady tried to report me at my current job, I just got this job maybe 4 months ago, and I don't want someone else to bully me out of a job. I'm not going to job hop at this time. I'm going to job hop when I choose to job hop. You're not going to bully me out of this job. I'm not going to leave this job because you don't think I should be here. No, I'm going to leave the job when I feel like getting another job, or when I feel like quitting, or when I feel like I have extracted enough resources and status or whatever I need to put on my resume. That's when I'm going to leave the job. Either that or you can fire me. So there are certain scenarios where you can't let other people intimidate you. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the concept of alchemy. It's like taking what you have and turning it into something better. That's all I'm trying to do for myself. And that is a form of dark femininity. It's taking the circumstances you've been given in life and learning how to create opportunities for yourself. Nobody owes you anything. Other people aren't just going to hand you opportunities unless, of course, it's a guy who's attracted to you or it's a girl who's not jealous. But unfortunately, there are a lot more jealous and toxic people in the world versus people who are just going to hand you opportunities. So one thing that I've learned to do is I've learned to make the best of what I have and create resources for myself. But just remember that anytime you level up, there are going to be people around you who are jealous. So like in my case, at my job, the basic Betty who is coming for me, she's been in the same position for like 10 to 20 years and she still is barely making more than me. So yeah, I would be mad too if I were like 50 years old and like working the same job and I never leveled up in life. Yes, I would be mad too. I'm not going to end up like her, and I don't want my fellow exoticals to end up like the basic Bettys of the world. I don't care if I sound narcissistic right now. I don't care if I sound conceited right now. This is the Dark Femininity series, baby. Okay, so we are keeping it all the way 100 over here. We are talking about getting our exotical tax, and that's just what it is. Another form of dark femininity that I've learned how to use to my advantage is mystery and intrigue. I've learned how to cultivate an air of mystery by not revealing everything about myself immediately. I don't have to tell every single person all of my business. My friends are not my therapists. So I've learned how to compartmentalize my friendships. I've learned where to put people in my life. I've learned who to open up to and who not to open up to. Not everyone has to know all of your business. I feel like a lot of us women, because we're so kind-hearted and because we are so nurturing, we tend to open up to anyone that comes close to us. We tend to just tell everybody all of our business or just completely open up our hearts. We kind of like wear our hearts on our sleeve, and that is not always the best thing for you. So just make sure that you keep a sense of mystery about yourself. You don't show everybody all of the cards you're dealing with. So like for me, when I work at my job, I don't even use my real name at my job. I go by a fake surname at my job, and that's because I don't want people at my job looking up my social media. And I know that a lot of people, they don't use their real names on their social media because they don't want other people in their personal business. They don't want other people in their space. So just learn how to protect your privacy. I saw that one of our fellow exoticals from the Discord, I can't remember her YouTube name, but she recently posted a video about how to protect your privacy and even how to protect yourself when it comes to like Wi-Fi, and just make sure that other people can't hack into your computer. Not everyone needs to know everything about you. Just make sure you keep that sense of mystery. Okay? Dark femininity. Another form of dark femininity is embracing your passions. And when I say embracing your passions, I'm not talking about just doing something on the side. I'm talking about going all out with whatever it is you're passionate about, no matter how dorky it is, no matter how nerdy it is. Pursue your interests and your hobbies with enthusiasm and with dedication, and be consistent at the things that you love doing. Passionate people are very magnetic. They're so inspiring and they're so intriguing. Like when a person is passionate about a certain thing, they tend to have such a deep knowledge about that thing that they're passionate about, and it makes them more interesting overall. Like for me, one of the things that I love outside of YouTube is I love fashion. I love all things hyper feminine. I love all things pink. So yes, I will come into work wearing an all pink outfit, or I will go to the gym wearing an all pink outfit, or I like to do fun nail art, and I like cosplaying, and I love to write, and I love to make YouTube videos, and I don't care how dorky it is, because I have learned how to embrace who I am as a unique individual. And I think that's something that can really help Exoticals, because you already stand out anyway based on your phenotype. So why not take it even further by standing out when it comes to your passions? And speaking of passions, that's another great way that you can make a side income. Like, for example, let's say you do artwork. You can create an Etsy shop, you can create an Instagram that showcases your artwork or your photography. By the way, I am a firm believer that every single Exotical should have some form of media that she's creating. So whether that is an Instagram page, a YouTube channel, maybe a blog or a podcast, or making music of some sort, it's very important to get your voice heard. Like when you create something to share with the world, that is a way that you are changing the world. And when people talk about purpose, they tend to think of purpose as like this really big thing. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like your purpose could just be making a small YouTube channel with 5,000 subscribers where you talk about your personal experience as a mixed person. Or your purpose could be drawing beautiful artwork that you share in children's books, and your books are now in a local library. Your purpose is whatever you want it to be. I don't necessarily believe in the sense of purpose in a religious context, like, oh, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, then you are not in your purpose. I believe that purpose is directly tied to whatever your passions and interests are and whatever your hobbies are. So, for example, maybe you're passionate about being a vegetarian. Okay, so that's a sign that your purpose could be maybe creating some sort of Instagram where you talk about being a vegetarian, or maybe helping other people to lose weight and to get healthy and to have bodies that are thriving and healed from sicknesses and things like that. Make sure that you are always going after your passions, because being passionate about something, that is literally what gives you life. Like if you think about people who are depressed, what makes them depressed? It's things like isolation. It's things like not having a purpose in life, or not having any passions, or not having anything that they're interested in. So having a passion and an interest or a hobby, that type of thing, it brings excitement to your life. And it can be something as simple as reading. Like for me, I also love reading. So I was thinking about joining a local book club in my city. That is something that can be very exciting. Because guess what? Then you get to read the book. Then you get to plan out like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to this coffee shop and meet up at this book club. I'm going to meet all of these exciting people. Those types of things make your life more interesting. You don't want to just revolve your life around working a job, getting a husband, having kids, and then dying. I would like to live for more than just work, a man, and having babies. I mean, if other people want to spend the rest of their lives changing diapers and cleaning up after a man, or sitting at a cubicle, then that's fine. But I personally feel like Exoticals should be seeking after more than just that. Another form of dark femininity that I have used to help me in the past is emotional intelligence. So when I use the term emotional intelligence, I'm talking about being in tune with your own emotions and also understanding other people's feelings so that you can build deeper connections and create a sense of empathy. So emotional intelligence, it helps you to be able to read people, One thing that I've done is I have studied psychology extensively. I love psychology. I love sociology. I am passionate about both of those things. I am always reading a psychology book. I love reading like Robert Greene books. I love reading books like Outliers or books about trauma and PTSD and how to overcome those things. I love reading books that talk about psychological studies and how the human brain works. Those types of things are my passion. And those types of things have helped me to develop emotional intelligence. So, emotional intelligence can help you to learn how to be more friendly, learn how to uplift and encourage others, learn how to manipulate if necessary, because sometimes you do have to manipulate your way in and out of certain situations. And that's up to you to decide when it's appropriate to do each type of thing. But emotional intelligence is very important. And also, even when it comes to dating, like let's say you want to have a boyfriend or something, it's good to know how to interact with a guy in a positive way, or how to tell if a man is a creeper, or how to tell if a woman has it out for you, or if a woman is jealous of you. Emotional intelligence can help you to read people, and it can help you to protect yourself from bad people who will try to come in and destroy your self esteem. Like one thing that I like to do is I love to go on walks and listen to audiobooks. I love to go to the park or go to a coffee shop and maybe like read something. I even like downloading books on my phone and I'll just read up on psychology or sociology, or sometimes I'll even read like self help books. So I highly encourage my exoticals to get their exotical tax by developing emotional intelligence. Another form of dark femininity that can help exoticals to social climb is empowerment. So instead of constantly relying on manipulating others, because that can become unhealthy, instead of constantly relying on that, focus on empowering yourself. Focus on making yourself the best version of you that you can be. Focus on leveling yourself up as much as you can. Level yourself up physically, emotionally, mentally, socially. Like make sure you're in a social environment that you can thrive in. Like some exoticals, they thrive more in a black community. Other exoticals thrive in a multiracial community. Some of us thrive in a white community or an Asian community, a Hispanic community. Figure out what circumstances fit you the best and do everything in your power to stay in those spaces. Stay in the spaces where you are loved. Stay in the spaces where you feel like you are living your best life. Some of us do better living in the suburbs. Others do better living in the country, or maybe you're better off living in a big city, or maybe you feel like you would do better not even living in the United States and you want to live in another country. Do everything in your power to create an environment that's empowering to you. And also, you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's like if you want to empower other people and if you want to be a leader in your life, you have to make sure that you are empowered first. You have to make sure that you're in a good headspace first, or at least that you're trying to get to a better headspace. Not saying you have to be perfect, but you want to make sure that you're in a place to where you feel like you have the time and the energy to be a leader to other people. Another way that you can use dark femininity to your advantage is to cultivate your appearance. Pay attention to your style and the way that you groom yourself, and make sure that the way that you look is authentic and comfortable for you. So, for example, let's say your favorite color is pink, like me. I don't care if I look like a walking Barbie doll. In fact, I love looking like that because I feel like that is authentic to me. Pink is my favorite color. I love wearing pink. I love wearing heels. I love wearing soft feminine colors all the time, 24/7. And I also love to switch it up as well because I feel like being versatile is also authentic to me. So sometimes I might switch it up and go for more of the chic business look. Or maybe I'll go for kind of an alternative goth look one day. But I do that because it's authentic to me, not because I'm following a trend, not because I'm trying to fit in with a certain group. I know that a lot of us multicultural women, we try to sometimes fit in a monocultural environment, so we start dressing and speaking in a way that's not authentic to us. You don't have to do that. You're an exotical. You're already going to get your exotical tax no matter what. Exotical tax! Another form of dark femininity that you can use is standing up for yourself and for others. Being confident in yourself and speaking up against injustices, um, that's a very beautiful quality to have. And we need more people who will stand up for what's right. We need more people who will stand up against anti-mixed race people. We need more women who will stand up and begin to tell their stories. And again, this is why I said I believe every exotical should have her own YouTube channel, her own artwork, her own books that she's writing, or some way that she is getting her voice heard in this world. Because your story matters, your background matters, your life matters. What you have to say, it matters. And you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like the biggest influencer of all time. But I highly encourage you guys to get out there and start sharing what you've been through and just talking about how you've overcome setbacks, because your story can help inspire someone else. And that leads me to my next form of dark femininity, which is the constant level up. Okay, so one thing that I'm doing is I'm always trying to seek opportunities where I can grow. I'm always trying to learn, whether it's in my personal life or in my professional life. That is what helps me to build more confidence. Knowing that I'm a better girl today than I was yesterday. Knowing that I'm smarter today than I was yesterday. Knowing that I'm more fit and in shape today than I was yesterday. That makes me feel like a bad bitch. Okay. So, do any of these talking points resonate with you guys? What types of tactics are you guys using in your level up journey? What types of tactics are you guys using so that you can social climb and live your best life? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.